Hello, Grapperinos, and welcome to another exciting episode of Probably Next Week on Raw. I'm Bryon, and once again, joined by a man who is dismayed that Hulk Hogan died. Mike, say hello, Mike.
Yep. Brother.
I mean, Hulkamania will live on forever, right? But there's a lot of interesting discourse on the internet. I don't know if you want to get on this, but
I will get on it for a minute. Like
yeah.
The discourse on the internet and the disconnect between that and uh the support that he got in person, it shows me that the discourse on the internet is people that are terminally online and have no life. Even though we are those people, because we're discussing about wrestling on the internet. So I fully understand that we are a part of that. But, I mean, I don't think it was as shocking as Kobe. Because, Kobe was kind of young when he died, at least, relatively. I mean, Hogan was, 70-something, right? He was up there, kind of.
It was pretty old, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty old.
So, you kind of knew it was coming, but he still had, a good, 10-ish years left.
Yeah.
And I remember I got someone else sent it to me, and I was like, "This is cap." It's some random dirt sheet.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke too.
And in the dirt sheet article is a TMZ link, and then the TMZ link said he died, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah,
they don't get that wrong. So that one thing they get right.
Yeah, and also you can't really trust TMZ anyway. Like half of their stuff is, I don't know, fake, or they're just there to bring attention to itself, I suppose.
I mean, yeah. TMZ is ass at everything except for celebrity deaths. They are really good at
I suppose.
When someone dies and TMZ says they're dead, they're pretty confident that they're dead. So,
yeah.
But
well, it's gonna be Rip the Hulkster, yes. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what the industry is going to look like after he's gone, and what the world of the WWE is going to look like after he's gone, or even the world of wrestling in general after Hulk Hogan dies. But, yeah, it's a pretty devastating moment, shocking moment as well. I mean, like I said earlier, I thought it was fake when it was first reported. But no, he actually did die, so condolences to the Hulkster's family, and yeah, he will definitely leave behind a lasting legacy and something that people will be influenced by moving forward. And with that, I suppose we move on to the next episode of Raw. And we're going to book the next episode, and we're going to book them under these rules, blah, 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 you already know. And then after that, we are going to watch the next episode of Raw, and we're going to friggin' score our points and predictions that we talk about here for the next episode based on the scoring system, which is as follows on your screen. So, let's take a look at the points from last week. It was a pretty good week, but that's because all the matches were announced, so it's now just based on our predictions for the winners, who won, and all that stuff. And we were pretty tight when it comes to the points. I got an 8.5. Mike, you got a 7. It was a pretty good week, needless to say, for the both of us.
Yep. I learned this week that if you go to the site for WWE, right, and you look at the show, like the upcoming show,
yeah,
and they list they have a list of featured people. Those people are on the show. Like, they don't tell you what they're going to do, but they tell you in advance, like, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
So that helps a little bit. I didn't realize that until last week, which helped me out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That part of the site is definitely helpful for sure in booking. But yeah, pretty much a good week. What can I say? With that, let's get to what's announced. I don't think there were anything announced as of late, but this is the go home show in terms of Raw for SummerSlam, and thus it's going to be booked as such. And with that, without further ado, let's book this thing and get to my version of the show as Jey Uso comes out to the ring. Jey Uso talks about his match with Roman Reigns against Seth's Goonies, that being Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker at SummerSlam. He thinks that he and Roman will put Seth's boys down, and that Jey and Roman are the future of the company and not Bronson and Braun. They are then interrupted by Paul Heyman, who says that they shouldn't talk about Seth and his boys like that. They are the future. Jey and Roman are past news. Jey literally lost his championship twice to Gunther, or I guess once in this case. And Gunther is part of the future of the company and not Jey. And, you know, if I want to just get SummerSlam over with, I can just send both of these guys, Bronson and Braun, to you, Jey, and you will have to take care of them. And Jey is like, nah, that's not how we do it here. We'll just fight at SummerSlam. But I want to issue a challenge to one of your boys, because I think I can put down one of your boys. And he issues a challenge to Bronson Reed. And Paul Heyman is like, okay, you know what? I think we can take on Jey with just Bronson Reed, so I accept. See you tonight, kiddo. Or later tonight, I should say. And that is the main event for Raw. Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. And we move on from that to Stephanie Vaquer versus Piper Niven. I think I pitched this on the SmackDown, but it didn't happen. But anyway, it happens because Stephanie Vaquer is in a feud with Chelsea Green and the Secret Service. Why? I have no idea. But here we are anyway. And we're gonna have, since Stephanie Vaquer won last time against Alba Fire, she's going to lose to Piper Niven. Piper Niven wins by pinfall with a distraction from Chelsea Green and the Secret Service. And then, after the match, now, I want to book this kind of like last week, where you had multiple woman feuds kind of converge on each other in one match. So we're going to do that. So after the match, we have Chelsea and the Secret Service attack Piper Niven. And then, attack Stephanie Vaquer. They attack Stephanie Vaquer. And then Io Sky comes out to even the odds. Then Naomi comes out because she is entangled in the whole Rhea Ripley and Io Sky kind of situation. So Naomi comes out to save Chelsea and the Secret Service. Then Rhea Ripley comes out to even the odds. But we're going to have the heels kind of win here, or be on top when the brawl is over. So I guess that's how I would think they would book it, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like they're gonna do all the women's feuds in one go again this week, just like last week, but who knows. And then we're gonna move on to El Grande Americano, who may or may not be Ludwig Kaiser, going up against Dragon Lee. And this happens because he beat up Dragon Lee last week in a backstage segment. So now we have this match. And we're going to have El Grande Americano win by pinfall, I think. Because to continue his momentum. Unless they're going to do a feud, in which case I wouldn't be surprised if Dragon Lee wins. But El Grande Americano, I think, will win it and move on. We can also have American Made sort of try to distract Dragon Lee or something like that and help El Grande Americano win. But yeah, EGA takes it for this match. We move on from that to Sami Zayn having a promo. He talks about his match with Karrion Kross at SummerSlam. He says that he is not what Karrion Kross... Wow, that was that was difficult there. He says that Karrion Kross is not saying any truthful things about Sami Zayn. And he says that he will prove Karrion and the naysayers wrong with this match. He will not cave into the darkness. He will always be a good person. However, he is then ambushed and attacked by Karrion Kross. He puts him in a chokehold, and we can have a sort of mic on moment from the camera where during the chokehold, Karrion says stuff like he knows Zayn more than Zayn knows himself, and he will expose it to the or not the naysayers, but to all the people at SummerSlam and to the entire world just who Sami Zayn really is, and that Karrion Kross is telling the truth, and the truth will come out. And he will do that during a chokehold. Sami Zayn passes out, and Karrion Kross just walks away smiling after that chokehold. And yeah, that's about it. Moving on to LWO versus the Judgment Day. And we're going to have the Judgment Day win by pinfall with distraction from Raquel and Roxanne. Now, why do I have this? Why do I have them on this match? Because we also got to build up to the Women's Tag Team Championship match at SummerSlam. So, after the match, the Judgment Day attack LWO. However, AJ Styles, because we also got to build up the IC Championship match, AJ Styles comes out and gets the Judgment Day. And then we have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss come out to save the sort of group from Raquel and Roxanne to even the odds. And yeah, that's about it. We move on to the Gunther promo, where Gunther talks about his match against CM Punk at SummerSlam and says that what Punk said last week is a joke. He will easily out-wrestle him, and he will prove once again that he's the best wrestler in the world, and that everything that Punk said is a lie. He is then interrupted by Punk, who says that that is not true. I don't know, he will shoot on Gunther or something like that. And they get into a verbal spar, which should have been what happened last week, but I guess we're saving it for this week, now that it's the go-home show. And we're going to have CM Punk have the last word here after Gunther leaves with sort of the last words that he wants to say to Punk. And I'm thinking this is going to be a verbal bloodbath, but who knows? Maybe we're probably going to be disappointed with what they have to say about each other. But yeah, I hope this is a good segment for sure. And after that, we got the main event, Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is going to win by pinfall with a distraction from Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. After the match, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed beat down Jey. Roman comes down to the ring for the save. Yes, I know, Roman Reigns shows up once again to save the day, because I guess he wants to respond to the allegations that people say that he's a part-timer now, even though it's kind of true. And yeah, Roman and Jey are on top after the brawl to end the show. Any questions?
The show seems kind of overbooked, but I guess it is a go-ho show.
Yeah.
I've learned that they tend to be very promo heavy.
Yes.
So
they also got.
I don't think Vacare appears on Raw. I think she appears on SmackDown because they had the last match on SmackDown. So,
well, she's part of the Raw roster, so
I know, but the Secret Purpose is on SmackDown. So,
oh my god, can we just go back to the original just brand split, please? Can we not have? Well, I suppose we're in this conundrum because the Women's Tag Team Championships floats between 3 shows. And then you have... What is it? Well, the Women's Championships are separated. Yeah, I think the only thing that's not separated is the Women's Tag Team Championships. I just think they need to be more rigid about that, but... Okay, whatever. If that's the case... Yeah.
You're forgetting the 24/7 championship.
Well, it's dead now. No one cares about that. And it's probably not gonna get brought back anyway. But I think if it happens on SmackDown, fine. I just thought that Stephanie Becker is on Raw, and she did beat Alba Fire on Raw, so might as well. So, anyway, any other questions?
Nope. I don't have any other questions. I think it's a very overbooked show, but you know what? Maybe they'll do it. Maybe they'll do it.
Bro, listen, bro. Go home show. Okay.
I saw a comment on a YouTube video today of an old WCW pay per view. Someone was like, I bet Vince Russo says he's going to bring his children to school, and then it's the dentist, and he gets up, and he says, "It's a swerve, bro."
Oh my god. They go to the dentist, and the appointment lasts like 2 minutes, and then he's like, "Yeah, instead of a dentist, it's like an assistant or something, someone lower, some swerve like that or something." It's that kind of thing. I think they've been kind of overbooking stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, they're taking the wrong lessons from like the Bloodline Rules match from WrestleMania 40, if you remember that. Like, we got to put all these people at the end of the match to get this guy the victory. And ever since then, they've been consumed by rewriting that same ending over and over again. I don't know if you're noticing that, or if you're noticing that, but I think they're taking the wrong lessons from that ending. Just because you made a masterful ending a year ago doesn't mean you need to repeat it hundreds and hundreds of times. It's going to lessen that moment, and it's also going to optically mean that you don't know how to write endings besides that. And you're just comfortable with that ending. And it's like, okay, but you're going to lessen that moment, but you're also prone to doing the same ending over and over again without having to realize its impact on the current storyline. But that's why I kind of overbooked the show. It's been kind of happening. But whatever. Let's move on. Enough about me complaining about endings. Let's talk about your card. Starting off with,
I have Gunther starting off the show. I think he continues on what he said last week. And says that, you know what, I beat Goldberg, and I'm going to do the same thing to CM Punk. He has a thing for beating up old, washed-up wrestlers. CM Punk comes out, doesn't say anything, just starts off a brawl with Gunther. And Gunther manages to put CM Punk in a sleeper hold. Security try to get him to separate him, but he can't. And CM Punk is left in the ring.
Are you saying that Jey Uso is washed?
Yes, I am saying.
Okay, confirmed.
Well, I don't know. He beat Goldberg. You know, I guess he's gonna beat CM Punk. They're both somewhat washed up wrestlers, so that's what I'm trying to get at.
He's the Logan Paul of the WWE, or Jake Paul.
Logan Paul.
Whatever.
Have you caught that people have been calling Jelly Roll racist now?
What? For what?
Yeah, apparently he got caught saying the N word, in a podcast.
Oh, I thought it was a show like SmackDown or Raw.
Okay. No, it was on like a podcast he was on or something.
I was like, what? Okay.
And I was like, man, sometimes you just gotta let things go. Sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, whatever, no big deal.
Yeah.
But much like the Hulk Hogan discussion, we have to be outraged about something because we don't have anything else better to do with our lives, I guess.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you're gonna have Gunther put CM Punk in a sleeper hold. That's interesting, considering that he's
that means that
yeah.
I think CM Punk goes over. I think CM Punk goes over at SummerSlam.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting that you will have some sort of quote unquote preview of their match at SummerSlam. But okay, sure. We'll move on from that too.
We have a Rhea Ripley promo after this one. Again, like I said, it's a very promo heavy show. She is a typical champion face off where she gets out, she says a few things, then Io Sky comes out, and then she says a few things. And then they are confronted by Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. This is because Raquel doesn't like Rhea Ripley, I guess. I was trying to find a better reason for this. I guess they come out, either they attack them from behind or they come out and help them out. Maybe Naomi asked them to do it, whatever. Who knows? But basically, they get into a confrontation, and this leads to a tag team match that happens right after this between Rhea and Io Sky and Raquel and Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, I think this whole thing might have been from Evolution, which is
that,
what we...
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Whoops.
Yeah. So,
yeah, anyway.
So this happens. This happens because I think they're going to try to really... I think they're trying to push... What a photo, by the way. I think they're going to try to push Rhea and Io as a tag team. I think that's going to happen. I think that's where they're going with this. I think that they both lose at SummerSlam, and I think they go on to be a tag team.
You mean Rhea and Io?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I think that's where they're going with this.
Yeah, because
I think that the Judgment Day win thanks to interference, but I think this starts Io and Rhea being a tag team. So.
I think that would be the best direction for Rhea at this point, and Io as well, because they've been fighting each other as enemies for quite a long time. So it would make sense for them to be a tag team. Raquel and Roxanne, I think, needs to hold on to that at least until a little before Liv comes back or something like that. And they could start their whole Roxanne versus Liv or something like that there. But yeah, I do agree with you that Rhea and Io need to be a tag team. And I don't know, they could probably go into a feud with the Kabuki Warriors or something like that. Freshen up that women's tag team championship scene. And yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Moving on.
Yes. The last time I'm going to try to book AJ Styles and Finn Balor. I've done this about 4 times now, and it never happened. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. This is the last chance they have.
It's like a Reese's bar.
From a backstage segment where Finn's like, "Yeah, I'll soften him up for you, Dom." And Finn Balor wins thanks to interference from Dominic. I think Dominic, hits a frog splash while the referee is knocked out or he's incapacitated. AJ loses, but then he uses his interference later to say that Dom is obviously cleared because he hit a frog splash, and that frees up. That confirms the fight at SummerSlam.
So they already did confirm that Dom was good to go last week on a backstage segment. Because so basically Adam Pearce noticed that Dom interfered in the match and was like, okay, you know what? You need to go to the doctors right now or I'm stripping the championship off of you. And he said, okay. So he went to the doctor's office and the doctors were like, okay, yeah, you're cleared. You're good to go. And yeah, he said that in a backstage segment with AJ, and Dom was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna see you at SummerSlam." I'm just saying, it was proven already.
Was this later in the show? Because I know I drop off at like 9:30, 10. So.
It was later in the show, yeah.
Yeah, I really wish these recaps would show some of the backstage segments because that's where a lot of the shit that we miss out is from. But.
Blame Netflix.
I still think this match goes the way that I thought. Finn Balor wins by interference.
Yeah.
And that
No,
means AJ Styles going over at the pay-per-view.
Actually, yeah, I didn't think of this, but I think this is going to happen. If I'm wrong, then whatever. But I do think this is going to happen. I forgot about booking this, honestly. I just had other things to build to. That's just like, okay, whatever. The IC Championship isn't going to be built because it's a lower card title. So, F that, I guess. So, if it happens, then that's great. And could build up to their match at SummerSlam. So, yeah. Moving on from that, too.
We have a Lyra Valkyria promo. She comes out about her match at SummerSlam against Becky Lynch. And then she is interrupted by Bayley, who wishes her good luck and says that if Lyra wins, she wants title shot. She wants to be first in line. And Lyra grants her that because God forbid we turn any of these people heel. You know, let's keep them all ambiguous. Keep them all in between. So very simple. I think that this sets up a title shot for Bayley, probably at Clash in Paris, because obviously Lyra is European, so it makes sense to have her defend it if she wins it at Clash in Paris.
Now, according to Wikipedia, I want to read the stipulation for the match. Okay, so Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria at SummerSlam in a no disqualification, no countout, last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, doesn't that sound like a last woman standing match? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Well, actually, there's a no countout thing. In the last woman standing match, there is kind of a countout, I guess. But it's like,
I mean, it really just sounds like, basically pinfall only match.
Yeah.
Or right. It's really just pinfalls only.
Submission.
Yeah, pinfall or submission. Well. Yeah. So that means that probably also means that Becky doesn't have the championship advantage of a countout. So.
And I think I've asked this before, but you're counting on Bayley intervening in the match, right?
Yes, because I think, I think she intervenes on behalf of Lyra, and that starts a feud between both of them that ends up at Clash in Paris. Yes.
Yeah, and it's no DQ, so it will make sense.
Yes, it would make sense. Yes. Yes.
All right, we'll move on from that to
the main event. I don't have an opening promo from Jey Uso. I do have this being booked in a backstage segment where they ask Adam Pearce for a fight to do it tonight. Adam Pearce is like, nah, Roman isn't here tonight. But Jey Uso is here tonight. So pick one of you guys, go out and face Jey Uso if you want. Bronson Reed steps up because he tsunami'd him once. He can do it again. And this ends up being the main event. And I think that Bronson Reed ends up winning because you have Jey Uso and Roman Reigns winning at SummerSlam.
I'm pretty sure Roman Reigns is going to win SummerSlam. Otherwise, I think this is going towards... Okay, so I know what's going to happen at SummerSlam. I know what's going to happen at Survivor Series. But where do you see another match with Roman Reigns happening at Clash in Paris? Like, what would you think they would do at Clash in Paris? Like, would it be
maybe Roman versus whoever wins the World Heavyweight title? So Roman versus Punk or Roman versus Gunther.
Okay. And then I don't know, where would Jey Uso go? would he go back to like IC Championship or something, or?
Maybe he stays in the mix. Maybe he goes after CM Punk again if CM Punk wins it.
Yeah.
So I also want to make a last minute prediction. I think what happens. Yes, I think there is there's a backstage segment or a tag team fight. But I mean, this really isn't a prediction for points. But I think what happens is one member of the LWO is taken out by either the New Day or by the current champions who are the Judgment Day, right? And I think that Rey Mysterio returns at SummerSlam.
Wow,
Yes.
that's kind of
Because
bold.
why else would you put the LWO in a SummerSlam match?
I guess so. Yeah.
You have the New Day
yeah.
who are much more over. You have the War Raiders who are much more over than the LWO. The LWO haven't gotten really any exposure at all, and I know it's this booking where anything can happen. Oh, it's real, right? But I think that this smells of a return, and I think Ray is going to return at SummerSlam because one of the guys goes down.
Wouldn't that mean you're going to set up? Oh well, I don't think this is gonna happen. But are you setting up a Rey Mysterio heel turn? Maybe.
The LWO or face? What do you mean?
Well, so they got laid out by Judgment Day or what is it? Some other team, and then Ray would. I don't know. I was just thinking that they might sort of pin it on Ray to turn his back on his comrades. I guess they might do that. I don't know why they would, but that could be a possibility.
No, I think it's maybe like Dom and possibly maybe Dom and JD McDonough like go after the LWO backstage or something, and they manage to take one of the guys out, and then nobody knows who's going to show up at SummerSlam, and then it turns out to be Ray who comes back, and they win the match, and then Dominic obviously loses his championship fight. And then I think that sets up a pretty interesting avenue for them to do a Ray versus Dominic kind of deal. Judgment Day try to get the tag team titles back, and Ray has defended against this one, which is something that people want.
And they also love running it back because they've done it many times.
They do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All right. I don't know how we got from Roman Reigns to Dom, but here we are.
The last minute.
Last minute. Oh, last minute prediction. Yes. Yeah. My mind is fried. And so, I guess that's about it, really. We'll watch the next episode of Monday Night Raw, and we'll give you our points in the next episode. And we'll do the same old predictions and bookings and all that stuff. So, with that, I was thinking of like a Hulk Hogan style outro. Like, what you gonna do when the Grapperinos runs wild on you, brother?
That's good enough, brother. That works for me, brother. That works for me.
It works for you. We'll see you next time, Grapperinos.